Sam probably wants to hit it, but Clemson, Notre Dame, no sunshine. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead and roll in that, Sam.
Yeah, and what scares me about Clemson is that quarterback, man. That dude is nasty. They're freshmen, true freshmen, man. Clemson's got just an arsenal still. So even when Trevor Lawrence leaves, uh, they're going to be in good hands. That kid is nasty. Uh, had Trevor Lawrence been playing, this is a different ball game. It's a different outcome. We're not going into overtime. I fully believe that. Fully believe this was a preview to the ACC championship. I don't see Miami making it there. Miami, they'll probably drop one. I don't know if they have Notre Dame on their schedule, but they'll probably drop one more game. But yeah, we called it. Y'all listen to us, you win some money. I told y'all Notre Dame was going to win this game, and they did. That quarterback's got a ton of heart. For Notre Dame, I was really impressed with how he played. So, yeah, and then that's about all I can say on that one, man. The Irish pulled it off. Once they went to overtime, I started doubting. I was like, Clemson's talent might win out on this one, but nope. Notre Dame stuck with it, and that quarterback's, man, that's just kid's got heart.
Hey,
Which leads me to,
go ahead, man.
my next topic. Why is Alabama ranked number one right now? Why are these standings such trash? Why is the bias such garbage right now?
Because
Alabama
it's
does not deserve.
Alabama.
They don't deserve to be the number one team in the nation. Notre Dame just beat the best of the best, right? So why is Alabama number one? Makes no sense to me. No sense unless they're looking at it as all Clemson didn't have Trevor Lawrence. Don't matter. That don't matter. Notre Dame beat the number one team in the nation. They should be the number one team in the nation. Alabama didn't do crap. They was on a bye week. They didn't do nothing this weekend. Alabama does not deserve the number one spot. So, in my opinion, Notre Dame is the number one team in the nation.
I won't disagree with that one right now. Notre Dame knocking off Clemson. If they were already ranked number 4 and Alabama hasn't beaten anybody above them right now, but Notre Dame manages to knock off Clemson, even without sunshine, there is no way, shape, or form that they should not be number one. If you're going to knock off the number one team and you say you're number 4 in college standing, regardless, that should bump you up to number 1, regardless of what is happening at that point in time. I mean, now if it's like Appalachian State and they're unranked or whatever else and comes in, knocks off number 1, got it. It could be a fluke. But if you're maintaining your status as a top 5 team and still dominating other teams regardless, and you knock off the number 1 team, you should be number 1. I mean, Alabama, whatever, got it. Bumped into number 2. No way in shape or form should they remain number 1. They haven't knocked off any teams like that. What was it? Auburn was the closest one they came to as far as number 1.
They
Well,
haven't played Auburn
yeah,
yet,
they
but
well,
Georgia, they beat Georgia, but I mean, hell, Florida dominated Georgia this weekend.
which take away
Uh,
from that power standing regardless.
Trying to think, Texas A&M, they beat Texas A&M, but other than that, they haven't beat a top tier team like Clemson, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Yeah, because Clemson would walk the dog on any team Alabama's played so far,
it
without
shouldn't even come
sunshine.
close. It shouldn't even come close. I mean, the only other team right now that I could see Alabama's about it for the SEC.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
about it. Clemson's it for the ACC,
yeah.
except for
But
Notre Dame. Yeah,
Georgia is who we thought they were. Uh, I picked Georgia to win this weekend. I think we both did. I was surprised that Florida beat them so bad, but uh, again, yeah, Alabama's the best in the SEC, and then you got Clemson that's in Notre Dame. They are the top tier programs, and then you got Ohio State who just ran the Rutgers down. And credit to the Rutgers, man, they're playing pretty good.
yeah.
But Ohio State and Justin Fields, who I now believe will be a top contender for the Heisman Trophy.
He
Uh,
should be. I remember watching the stat on that when they said he had 11 touchdowns and only 9 completions through 3 games. I'm like, dude, how you have more touchdowns than you have incompletions?
yeah, no
makes
doubt, no doubt.
makes no sense. But yeah, Ohio State is literally the only top contender technically right now in the Big Ten. Penn State, which I'll get into them here in a minute, that's just I don't even know what to say about them. Northwestern, now, on the other hand, has started off on a hot note, but it's Northwestern. Can they keep it up? And do they really, really have a top tier team to actually put in there, like at least close to the top 10?
No,
Michigan,
no,
Michigan
they are who we
State.
said they were. Michigan is exactly who we said they were. Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, I picked 2 more years for him. Nah, this is going to be his last year, in my opinion. That dude's out.
Yeah, he ain't got no choice. I mean, Michigan State gets knocked off. Michigan loses to them. Michigan loses again. Penn State is 0-3 when they were literally dominating last year. Like they're literally being the LSU of the Big Ten right now. it, it makes no
And you got,
sense.
and then you got Pitt. They walked the dog on FSU. I believe I called that.
Yep.
I said it was closer than what it was, but yeah, Florida State has got a long road. If you're a Florida State fan, you might as well buckle up and get used to what I'm seeing. Because hey, I represent all day, no matter what, win or lose. But we are trash right now. We're going to continue to be trash. And yeah, I see the Titans. They got that win today. Florida State's done. They've got at least 2 3 years, and we're stuck with Mike Norvell. I know there's a lot of chirping on Twitter about fire Mike, fire Mike. Look, we can't fire Mike Norvell. Florida State is broke. They are broke. We are stuck with Mike Norvell. You ain't paying Willie Taggart $17 million, and then turning around and paying Mike Norvell another, you know, probably 4 or 5 million.
Of
So
course you can. That's what all the boosters are for, and alumni giving money to the colleges in the first place when the students can't even take $5 to go get themselves something at McDonald's, without getting sued pretty much or disciplinary actions on the field. I mean, yeah, they can do it, man. They got the money for it.
I think the Saints just scored again, by the way. Oh my goodness. They are just killing Tampa. We was wrong on that one, Griff. Wow. We hit hard on the NFL this weekend, but we was killing it on college. The NFL
Yeah,
is terrible.
we did drop a couple of them, and some of them were definitely not what we picked. But I mean, at least going back to the college, if any of y'all are out there wondering why, oh why, we are not talking about the Big 12, there is a reason for it. It's the Big
Same with
12.
the Pac. Yep, same with the Pac-12. No respect for them. I've got no respect for either conference.
No, it's not even that they are all bad. Don't get me wrong. Do some of them have potential? Yes, but are they anywhere near top five potential? Not at all.
Shout out to Oklahoma State for beating Kansas State. I don't know if that certain person is watching right now, but yeah,
Hey,
exactly. Jeffrey Smitherman, exactly. There's nothing to talk about with the Big 12 and Pac 12. There's nothing. Big 10, ACC, and SEC. That's where it's at. That is the tops of the top. And which this year, I think the ACC is really the only division that's got two teams that are top tier, which is Notre Dame. They're an exception. The COVID thing forced them to join the ACC for this year. Will that stick next year? Who knows? But
they should. They should. They've always been non-conference on anything. I mean, they
yeah,
haven't joined any kind of conference, which always begged me to differ. Like, how can you really get any kind of high ranking system if it's going by conference wise, but yet you're a non-conference team, but yet still, um, getting nods for top 10, top four, and everything else. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. But
yeah, I fully agree. Fully agree. Yeah, anything else you want to touch on in college? I think we about hit the nail on the head with it. Bama,
um,
yeah, the rankings are garbage. I think Ohio State would beat Bama right now. I think Bama would probably beat Notre Dame, to be honest, because I think Bama's defense is top notch and they shut down that running game. But I don't think Bama can beat Clemson. So shouldn't be
yeah,
ranked number one.
I mean, the only one I would hit would be the Heisman talk. I mean, it's not too many candidates for it. I mean, the top two probably are still Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields, which is probably giving him a hard, hard push for that number one already as it is, considering the way he's been performing. I mean, other
Yeah,
than that, maybe a few running backs.
I
I think,
think if Justin Fields keeps performing the way he's performing, he'll be the Heisman winner because I think it's going to hurt Trevor to have the 2 games he's missed with COVID. So
Yeah, that almost puts him on even ground though, considering Ohio State started late. I will say, I will throw one receiver up in this mix that I have been impressed with just watching him, even though his team is 0-3. Number 5 for Penn State, Dotson. Even playing the teams that he has played so far, that dude has had monster games for no reason with some spectacular catches. Granted, 2 of those were against Ohio State, but the dude has had monster games. He, I see him being on the Heisman list. If he is not, then something's possibly wrong. But I haven't seen anybody shut him down. He's pretty much Megatron and OBJ and every single defender that's guarding him right now.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that he's been pretty dominant, even though Penn State, like you said, is 0-3. That kid has got some major talent.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, overall, yeah. I mean, most of these college games, yeah, we called. I mean, there's not a whole bunch to say. I mean, we pretty much wrapped up every single thing that has happened on that one. I mean, unless you really want us to get into details on team specific chats whatsoever. I mean, but we're not doing our podcast for one specific team. We're talking all college, all NFL. That's what we do. We're not sitting here showing complete favoritism, even though we got our teams now: OSU, Titans, Florida State, Rams. I mean, but we love sports. So this is what we're doing. Y'all want us to switch it up a little bit, y'all gonna have to leave us some feedback so we can
That's
get
right.
on that. No feedback, this is what we gonna stick to.
That's it. That's it. And speaking of my Rams, I think they, even though they were off this weekend, they did have a pretty good weekend. The Cardinals lost, Seattle lost, San Francisco lost. So
San Francisco got
yeah.
smashed.
hmm So yeah,
So all right, then fine. We'll go into it. I mean, we hit y'all with some of the highlights. I will take it to my most surprising game right now of the week, or at least of today. Dallas and Pittsburgh. I the fact that Dallas was up in the fourth quarter 19-9, entering in the fourth quarter against Pittsburgh, is undefeated. He was say I was surprised. I was
I
rooting
was
for
too.
Dallas, honestly, on that part of it, considering what they've had happen to them. I was rooting for Dallas. Don't get me wrong. I know I got some Steelers fans out there, possibly Rosalind Jackson. I mean, she's probably going to get me later on. Stacy, I know Murdoch also, but I was rooting for Dallas, hands down. But then I
Yeah, that
will go for it.
that was a shocking uh, score, but Steelers pulled it off. So tip of the hat, still undefeated. Uh, Cowboys came to play though, and so you can't knock them. Can't knock Dallas this weekend. They came to play, and
Yep.
the Titans came to play as well. They shut the
Oh yeah.
Bears. What was it, 24-17?
Yep. They. I will say this much again. Apparently, the referees did not like the Titans. Apparently, giving personal fouls for hitting receivers with your body while they're trying to catch the ball is a personal foul now. So I'm gonna go back to back 2 weeks. Referees suck, and the fact that they were sitting here blowing the calls, did they have an actual effect on the game? Like, not completely, but if there'd been one more quarter, maybe. But when they called it, is big, big calls. Literally, I forgot who it was. I want to say it's Allen Robinson cutting across the middle. He had the DB stuck on his back when he called it. Other DB came over, literally threw his body into him, no helmet, no shoulder, literally hit him, knocked the ball loose. They called it hitting the defenseless receiver.
And the game's going soft. College and NFL both is going soft. The crackback block's illegal now. Uh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of where the sport's headed. I mean, protect the players, yeah.
Yeah,
Protect those headshots, but we want to see the big hits. That's what you love about football. The Steve Atwaters, the
yeah,
Ronnie Lott. Give me
yeah.
that. I love that. That's what I
Lynch's.
grew up on. Yeah. Yeah. Give me those hits, man. And it sucks to see that they are going the direction they're going and just softening up the sport so much.
Like I said, it started with Brady. It honestly started with Brady when they started throwing in the whole quarterback protect rule. Steelers fans do not get mad at me on this one whatsoever, but I will call out the referee on this one also. Jalen Smith busts through the line, but he still gets sandwiched in between three offensive linemen. And as he's reaching for the quarterback, he brushes Ben Roethlisberger's helmet. Brushes, not hit, doesn't pull, doesn't grab his face mask, but brushes his helmet down to his chest. Roughing the passer call. And then I turn around and watch about 4 or 5 plays later after they score, which happened to make them get penalties on 2 consecutive third downs, which gave them first down, which put them in touchdown/field goal range. I watched that one happen. Then I watched Garrett sitting here throwing the ball. And who was it? Who was it? Who was it from the Steelers? I can't think if it was Watt or whoever the other defensive end, maybe Bud Dupree or someone else, literally goes for the quarterback, scrambles, about falls, and then hits the quarterback in the leg as he's throwing the ball. No penalty. Watch him do a horse collar on him. And that was actually on Cameron Hayward. He actually done a horse collar on him for a sack towards the end of the game. No penalty. So my thing is, when is it actually going to be, I guess you could say, not biased on the team or favoritism for certain players? When is it actually just going to be, if this is what it is, this is what it is. If it's roughing the passer, it's roughing the passer. If it's defensive pass interference, it's pass interference. If it's a personal foul, it's a personal foul. When is it going to be even though overall for the NFL? Versus, oh, this is Tom Brady. He got it. No. I mean, that's the part I'm hating. That's the softness.
Yeah, I fully agree. And speaking of Tom Brady, he is being smoked right now. It is 28-0, 8 minutes to go still in the second quarter. They are getting whipped
Ooh,
right now.
28. God. See?
Yeah, the Saints just got an interception, and then Breeze took them down. Number 7 for the Saints, was it?
King?
I can't remember that guy's name. The quarterback slash hybrid tight end, running back, wide receiver, kick returner, whatever you want to call
That
him.
old school NCAA football athlete. Just call it athlete.
Yeah, that just took it down to the 1, and Alvin Kamara just snuck in the end zone. So if you got Breeze this week and you got Kamara playing this week for you, you're doing good in fantasy. Breeze
Yeah.
is starting for my team right now, so
True.
beating down a certain person.
I've seen that one happening. And yes, Vanessa Griffin, you did call Saints. I remember seeing that one. So shout out for that one. You
Yeah,
called the Saints, even though we kind of, yeah, we dropped the ball on that one. We were leaning towards Tom Brady the way he has been playing. But like I said, this week has been a bunch of upsets. It has. Speaking of what upsets, who would have thought Miami beat Arizona?
yeah, that's crazy. Arizona doesn't have much defense, in my opinion, though. So, nah, I'm not impressed.
Yeah,
Tua still hasn't impressed me. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to play a real team and then I'll be impressed. I mean, the Rams defense shut him down.
yeah.
So,
That's true. That's true. I mean, he did step it up from what he done against the Rams. He didn't even have 100 yards passing. This game, he had like 248 and 2 touchdowns. But I mean, the way Arizona had been playing, I mean, I would have not expected Miami to actually come in and knock them off.
that's true. That's
I
true,
mean, if you
especially
just still have
without.
Fitzpatrick, maybe if it's still Fitzpatrick back there, that would have been a nice little toss up. I would have probably gave Miami the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, they're not stopping their quarterback though either. Their quarterback pretty much dominated the game. Um, who else did we have? What other game was? Ooh, you touched on it earlier, Sam. Bills and the Seahawks.
Yep, that we missed that one big time. And Josh Allen is the real deal. 282 yards passing, 3 touchdowns before halftime. I don't know his stats after half. I'll have
Yeah,
to look that up real quick. But man, did he dominate that first half, and that against a top-notch Seattle defense at that. So very surprising win. I
he
didn't see that
definitely
coming.
came back.
No, the Bills are gonna push the AFC. They're gonna make a push for the championship and the Super Bowl run. That kid, you can't knock him. You can't keep him down.
No,
Hey,
no. If he goes down though, they're gonna be like Clemson almost though, and just be like, like, what do we do? Like, it's gonna be bad. But yeah, yeah, Allen was a beast though. I can't disagree with that one. I mean, the running game is not so strong, but Allen is doing Allen things right now, and it's definitely destroying every team they play. They had those 2 bad weeks, and then this week they came back and said, "All right, quit playing around now. Let's get in. Let's get this done." So they knocked off Seattle. Russell Wilson tried to make a comeback at halftime, and then Allen said, "No, thank you. You go sit back over here. I got this. This is my team right now. My game." Um, Green Bay won theirs, demolished
oh yeah,
49ers.
Green Bay dominated. And just real quick, Josh Allen's this is amazing stats, by the way, against the Seattle defense. 31 for 38, 415 yards, 81.6 completion percentage, average yards 10.9, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Was sacked 7 times, but still pulled off that type of performance. Hey, tip my hat to him. Kids dominant.
That's not bad at all. That is dominating. The only other there haven't really been too many quarterbacks that throw 400 yards a season. Dak Prescott was one of the few. I mean, um, I
And
don't even
that's not
think
easy
Tom
to do
Brady's.
against Seattle. And the game was in Seattle, correct?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
see, that's not an easy thing to do. That's very that speaks volumes. Josh Allen may be the NFL MVP this year.
That's a good push because it ain't Lamar Jackson right now. Not the way he's playing. It definitely
Madden
ain't Lamar.
curse. Hey, Madden curse. Where's he at, man? He ain't even watching. Madden curse and Chris curse. So if you got Lamar Jackson on your team, Chris Thompson picked him up in the draft. We'll
Killed
have
him.
to explain the Chris curse one day to everybody. But look, he's killed Lamar Jackson's career now. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yep, he sure did. He
And then the
surely
Chiefs.
did.
Did the Chiefs win today, or did they lose?
They pulled it off right at the fourth
Okay.
quarter.
The
Carolina had the
Panthers got.
ball,
Yeah,
but
Carolina, man. I think they're going to do all right. I think they need to. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's the answer. I think they need a different quarterback, but
he's getting it done though. Honestly, right now for them,
he
I mean,
really is. I dropped him this morning and picked up Derek Carr because I thought Carr was going to have a field day against the Chargers, which the Raiders did pull that win off. But
nope,
yeah,
nope.
he didn't do much for me today. So, but
Yeah, C-Mac was back though, so I know some of y'all are really, really happy on that one. But yeah, it was Carolina had a chance, fourth quarter, I mean, down. They got the ball back with like 14 seconds left, a field goal, and the dude just missed it. That was it. But at the start of it, Carolina was dominating the Chiefs. And then you see Mahomes doing Mahomes things and just come back and just get the win. I mean, he done what we were expecting Russell Wilson to do. I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
And then what about Dalvin Cook today? Man,
Dalvin, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about Dalvin Cook.
look here, bud. We're gonna talk about the best running back in the NFL right now, and I will debate anybody on this. Dalvin Cook is the best running back in the NFL. He broke a 70-yard touchdown late, I believe, in the third or fourth quarter. He had a rushing touchdown or two in the first quarter and first half. I believe his stats in the first half were 70 something rushing yards and 60 something receiving yards. Dalvin Cook is a beast. He is the best running back in the NFL, hands down. Bump Derrick Henry. We ain't nobody talking about that old washed up Alabama trash, even though he's a Titan. I hate to tell you that, Griff.
Can't talk
I hate
about
to tell you
Titans
that,
like
Griff.
that. The
Hey,
Titans got a better record. They're winning.
Vikings got Kirk Cousins. We ain't talking about records, bro.
Best quarterback ever to come out of any kind of school. You know that. He was a million
Who?
dollar man. Kirk Cousins, million dollar man.
Wasted. That's wasted. They could pay me $10.
He
That's
replaced Robert Griffin, man. I mean, Robert Griffin was one of the number one picks in the draft. And you're going to tell me Kirk Cousins beating him out doesn't say much?
Kirk Cousins. I mean, look at Diggs' production with a different quarterback, Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs is like number 1 or 2 receiver in the country right now since he's
True.
been. Um, and that's why, man, I'd love to see him get away from either Minnesota or see Kirk Cousins finally get cut in Minnesota, get a good quarterback because uh, teams don't fear him. They don't worry about Kirk Cousins. They worry about Dalvin. They worry about the ball getting into Thielen's hands. But
I think Thielen needs to be traded to the Titans and pair him with AJ Brown. That's what I think.
hey, hey, that'd be a good pickup for the Titans.
Oh yeah.
Let's see who else won today. The Falcons. I touched on this, and I believe you and Ty Bass commented on my post. Denver's defense, man, without Von Miller, they are just garbage right now. And then Ty Bass brought up some interesting points that I didn't look at. A lot of the Broncos starting secondaries out, but
Yep.
man, they made Matt Ryan look like Joe Montana today.
True, true. And they still about lost the game. 27-34.
And they was up
Still
big.
about lost. I know.
They was up big in the first half.
Yeah, but Matt Ryan, I think he's still done. I mean, they didn't have Calvin Ridley, which possibly would have made a little bit of a difference. But I will say this much about Denver. Denver has been pretty much bad this year. But there really has not been a team that's come in and slapped them in the mouth, though.
No, there hasn't. And Jerry Judy, I think he's going to be a good receiver.
That dude's got some feet.
Years. Yeah, he's talented, definitely talented. Even though I hate to say that about a former Bama player,
I was about to ask, where'd he come from?
but yeah, I mean, Von Miller's a key piece, and he's the leader of that defense. And so getting him back is going to be big next year because he's out for the season, correct?
Yeah, he's gone. He had foot surgery. He ain't gonna be back until next year. Um, I guess last game I'll probably talk about tonight, man, would be I'll take it down to the AFC South. We'll go Houston and Jackson. Then I'm not even gonna really touch on Baltimore and Indy. That was pretty much expected from Baltimore to knock off Indy. But the only reason I'm gonna talk about Houston and Jacksonville is Jacksonville putting a new quarterback. Oh, Mustache Minshew was pretty much on the bench. And then you got Houston after the firing of Bill O'Brien has started to show signs of life. They did knock off Jacksonville, which is not saying a whole bunch, but Will Fuller's been active. Watson's been active. Defense is doing a little bit better. I mean, their offense is almost clicking. So, I mean, in this case, I'll say coaching says a lot. They're still at the bottom of the division with Titans on top and Colts next, but do you really think it was that big of a deal with Bill O'Brien being fired, though?
Yeah, I think he caused a lot of division in that locker room. I mean, your best wide receiver wanted out of there, and now he's with the Cardinals. So Bill O'Brien, man, that was a good move. But if you notice too, Atlanta's playing better ever since they fired their coach.
That's true, too. That's true.
Maybe the Jets could take a lesson. Up out of there.
Or Dallas right now, even though they just got McCarthy. But, I mean, I will say this one also, the Giants. They're starting to come on, even though, I mean, they're missing Barkley. Wayne Gallman is pretty much their underdog right now, who's kind of carrying their teams along with Daniel Jones. Today, I think, was the first day I didn't see Darius Slayton getting a whole bunch of yards like he normally would. But they came in, got revenge on Washington, who beat the brakes off them the first game of the season. So the Giants might be getting out of that top 3 pick if they keep up at this rate at least. So,
but I think you lose a key player like Barkley, right? And your offense is built around somebody like that. So now you kind of have to reshape your offense and build it around Jones, right?
yeah,
And your top receivers. So I can't really knock the Giants, and it's the same with the Cowboys. You built your team around Dak, and now Dak's out, and then you're only what's your daggone 4th-string quarterback near.
I had to look and see who that was. Like, who in the world is Garrett? What?
Yeah.
Who? Yep. What?
So it's tough, man. It's being a coach is tough when you have a key player like Barkley, and then all of a sudden he goes down. Well, that's normally an average of 5 yards a carry. So now
Yeah,
you kind of move away from your running game a little bit and go more to passing, and then you got to put a lot of weight on your defense to hope they keep you in the game. So, hats off to the Giants, though. I agree with you; they are improving.
yeah, which therefore is just going to confuse that whole division a lot more. I mean, Philadelphia is probably sitting at the top of it right now, but yes, the rest of it, they gotta. Um, yeah, that
The
division
Saints
is
about to
still
go up
horrible.
35-0 before halftime, man. That Saints might drop a 60 burger on Tampa Bay.
Do they do
Jameis Winston
the?
gonna play tonight, man. Hey, I hope they put Jameis in and he throws a couple of touchdowns.
They
Tampa.
probably need to do the Mad Mercy rule, like 21-0. You get one more possession. If you ain't scored, just call it game. Granted, it ain't the same because all the dynamics sit there and change. I mean, player goes down, but yo, you know how mad Brady is right now.
Oh yeah, that dude's pissed on the sidelines. Pissed. I mean,
Yeah,
we ain't even hit 2 minutes yet. Saints are almost inside the 20. They're about to be in the red zone. They'll end up scoring.
God, is this just a premonition? I mean, they struggled with the Giants for one, and now Drew Brees comes back in. I haven't even watched it. Is Michael Thomas even playing?
Yep, Michael Thomas just had a big catch.
Oh, well, there you go. That explains it all right there. Drew Brees got Michael
But
Thomas back.
Taysom Hill has really been making some dynamic plays. Um, so, and that's the quarterback. I couldn't remember his name, but Scott Belcher threw it in there earlier into the chat. So, yeah,
Yeah,
but the Saints all around their defense came to play. They hit Brady a lot.
yeah.
I
Um,
guess Antonio Brown's in the game.
oh, I'm about to
Yeah,
tune into this one. I've been sitting here doing
hey,
this part of the podcasting as can be. Man, I'm missing some stuff now.
he saved a pick. I can tell you that. Antonio had to play some defense. His very first pass to him, he saved a pick. So
Good for him. Good for him. At least he's back in. Don't get me wrong. It's Brown pretty much possibly a semi-cancer, maybe, depending on how the NFL looks at him or whichever team looks at him. It's a possibility. But I loved watching Antonio Brown play. I mean, I did, hands down.
they,
I mean, the
they
dude,
did bring up in the broadcast tonight. Brown, uh, what's the coach Tampa's name? Whatever, it don't matter. But he didn't want to bring Brown at all. Tom Brady has been pushing for Brown since March, is what they were saying in the broadcast, and he thought Brown was a cancer and didn't want him back. But then all of a sudden, a couple of key receivers got hurt at Tampa, and he said he went and talked to Brown, and he said this is a much more mature Brown than
yeah, okay.
what was, but he will be if he's found guilty of that sexual assault thing against his trainer, he is off the team.
Yep. Yep. And Brown was on some other stuff here lately. So, I mean, that it can be a good pickup for Tampa. Speaking of good pickup, this is the last one I'm going to say. My Titans fans that are out there, welcome, welcome, welcome Desmond King to that
That's it.
tighten up defense.
I
Welcome
see
Desmond King.
he snatched that fumble to the house, man.
Go, go. You come over for 1 week and you already scored a touchdown defense. Get out of here, man. Definitely like a highlight on that one. To somebody else, sorry your Bears lost, but Savage Sports Podcast called it.
That's it. We called it. We called a lot of them in college. I mean, I'm telling you, y'all pass the word. If people want to win some money, listen to us. We don't do the betting lines or anything, but if you betting straight up, listen to us. I'm telling you, I'm college ball. I know my college ball. Griff
Yep.
is our NFL guru. I'm more of the college man, but
Oh yeah, I definitely pull you some history out of the college with it. But yeah, if we talk about point spreads on some of them, I mean, hit or miss. I think this week we were pretty accurate on some point spreads as far as it went, but definitely on straight up picks. Yeah, if it was 10 games that we picked, we pretty much hit 9 out of 10 of those, except for NFL. NFL has
that's
some
true.
stuff that kind of went completely sideways today.
I think the only thing we knew was going to happen right in the NFL was that Green Bay was going to smack the 49ers, but I did
Yeah,
not see the Saints team dominating Tampa the way they are right now.
yeah. Green Bay took them out to dinner and made them pay the bill. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't think we're gonna take up too much of y'all's time tonight. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to watch Drew Brees finish off Tom Brady for the second time. Not one, but two.
2 times.
which is possibly going to be a big decision factor whenever it comes to the playoffs. I mean, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right now, um, AFC, I would say Kansas City, Pittsburgh definitely, Baltimore, Titans. And the other two teams is pretty much a toss up. Colts might make it into that little window, but I mean, it's a toss up for the rest of the teams that are at least looking at playoff buys or wild cards, whichever way you want to call it. NFC, Tampa, Saints, Green Bay, Seattle. And I'm gonna throw the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I think Rams will be in the picture too if Jared Goff will if he'll quit doing this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. One week he plays excellent, next week he doesn't. But I think
Yeah,
the Rams will be in there too.
I think they'll get
Saints
in there.
Saints about to go up 31-0, kicking a field goal now. Lutz ain't gonna miss, and it is good. 31-0. New
Uh,
Orleans. Who that nation's happy right now.
who that? I saw Josh Barker in there earlier talking about who that coming here. Yep, I got you on that one. Oh, I forgot for one for you, Buffalo. I can't sleep on Buffalo right now. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna make it
Buffalo
also.
can't sleep on Buffalo at all.
No.
Yeah, I think Buffalo they're going to make a run for the AFC Championship. I think it'll be them in Pittsburgh.
Nice pick. Nice pick. I can't go against my
I'll,
Titans. But
the Titans, they just got to kind of get it completely together, right? They're still missing some pieces, and I think once they get it good and rolling towards the end of the season, they'll be there. But right
yeah.
now, Buffalo and Pittsburgh are your two best teams in AFC.
Yeah. That I will say this, aside from Green Bay, the Saints in Seattle, as far as having like the most high powered offense goes though, that one definitely goes to Pittsburgh, um, Buffalo right now, and Kansas City. Three of those high powered teams are literally in the AFC, which is going
Very
to
true.
give some defense some fits regardless of however it looks. I mean, the only saving grace they got is if they play a team and they have and Derrick Henry does what he done to the Pats, just running into the ground on them and don't give them a chance to get on the field. But other than that, it's going to be some high scoring games whenever it comes to the playoffs.
Very true. And from the looks of it, speaking of the Pats, they play tomorrow night with the Jets. You want to pick that? I'm going Pats on that game.
Oh,
It looks like Belichick needs Brady and Brady needs Belichick.
I don't even know how I even want to pick this one right now. I mean, it is the Jets for one, but the way this week has been going,
Hey, AB just made a catch.
all right. I'm gonna have to take the Jets just because of the way this week has been going. Apparently, any underdog team is just saying like, "Hey, don't cut us out yet," and
Yeah.
they at least want to show some life so that way you can get Sunshine a chance to come over there and maybe he'll change his mind. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Patriots going to win this one.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna win too. But I'm gonna put my 5 on the Jets though,
All right.
just
I can
because.
respect it. This has been a wild week for the NFL. Like I said, I mean, New Orleans literally up 31-0 before
Yeah.
halftime. I did not see that. And Brady just threw a pick.
Did he throw a pick last time they played?
Yeah, this is his second interception of the game. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Brady's playing horrible right now. Saints just picked it. 57 seconds left before half. Come on, I think Sean Payton should just go ahead and run it down the throat. Get 7 more on the board. Let Drew
Hey,
Brees it out.
it happens. Oh, side note, Jets have been better without Le'Veon Bell.
True. Very true.
Pittsburgh players are just cancerous, I tell you. Unless they're in Pittsburgh, they're cancer.
Yeah, and that's a thing, man. I think if you got a cancerous culture, it affects your team majorly.
Yeah.
Majorly. I'll be dead honest with you. That's Florida State's problem. Watch a full game of Florida State football. They give up. Once they get down, they give up. They throw in the hat. The whole
Yeah.
locker room cancer.
Mm-mm-mm. Can't believe Williams went and picked Brady off like that. But yes, I agree. Florida State, they'll get there. They'll get there. Give them a
That's
couple of years. I
yeah, it's
mean,
going to take time. FSU's going to take time. They need a lot of time, honestly.
yeah.
They need 3 to 4 years. You need a complete cleaning of that locker room. Stars, when you're recruiting, shouldn't matter anymore. Throw the stars out the window. Go
Take
for
that
key.
player that doesn't have all those people trying to recruit them and get that one that's probably destined to go to like Appalachian State or something like that and be like, come on, just give it a try. Just come on up.
Just get that kid that's gonna be a leader, that's gonna step up when it's time to step up. I mean, if you look at the NFL, there are more 3 stars still playing than there are 4 and 5 stars. Get that kid with a chip on his shoulder that's pissed because he knows he's a 5 star talent, but they're disrespecting him. Go
I'm
find
just
that
saying,
kid.
if he's got a chip on his show, that just means he's a messy eater.
Very true. Well, I think that's about wraps it up for the Savage Sports Pod. We appreciate y'all listening. If you didn't get a chance to catch us tonight live, don't forget you can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube. We are on Spotify
Yep.
and other various networks. Still working on the iTunes, but we will get there shortly. Still emailing and trying to get that worked out. But we do thank everyone for tuning in. Shout out to our top fan, Miss Griffin. Thank you for always being here, Miss Jackson. Thank you for always watching. Scott
Yeah.
Belcher, all you guys that tuned in tonight. We thank you. Thanks you for the support. Don't forget to share us. If you know people that just love sports, share us away. We don't do politics. We don't do the BS on here. We talk straight sports because that's what we love, and that's
Hey, football is football, regardless.
that's right.
I'll even root against my own team occasionally. I'm like, oh man, that was a good play. Like he literally burnt him. It was busted coverage, but it was a good play. But hey, if it's a good sport, if it's a good play, we'll call it. We might not be happy as against our team, but we'll call it. But yeah, definitely shout out to everybody that has been coming in. Last one, little special shout out. Yes, Miss Griffey helps manage our page, post up a couple little things for us and everything. So definitely essential to what we're doing. So, but
I'm gonna throw one more thing out there. Josh Allen or Dalvin Cook will be the NFL MVP.
good guys, stay healthy first.
Hey, Dalvin's on the road. Dalvin's gonna stay healthy. He's good this year. I told it. I called it. It was his breakout season. I said this is Dalvin's breakout year. So get ready.
I'll go on board on that. I will get on board on that one. Those two definitely are taking it right now. I mean, yeah, they got it. It's gonna be either one of those two. I mean, I don't see anybody else really taking it. Nobody else has really stepped up at least on a consistent basis like they have. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
But hey, everybody, definitely tune in, watch us. We'll be live on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then Thursday we'll be live also 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna hit you with your NCAA football, and then we're gonna hit you up with your NFL football also. And then Sunday, same thing. So definitely tune in, keep on watching us. Leave us some feedback again if you got time to. If not, hey, it's all good. We're gonna keep on rolling how we roll. But if you want to hear some other stuff, then you gotta let us know. Other than
Correct.
that,
Correct. Leave us
hey,
some feedback.
yep. And that everybody, hey, y'all have a good night. Let's finish watching these Saints whoop up on I was about to say these Pats, but these Buccaneers. All
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all take care. And again, thanks for tuning in.
right. Good night.